Hello, I'm Philip Duncan. Thank you very much for joining us as we track a couple of areas of weather. The first one's over near Australia. We've got a cyclone forming in the northwestern side, and around New Zealand, our departing storm. It doesn't quite mean that we're back yet to the warm, settled weather. We've got a bit more Southern Ocean stuff to go through. This is the animated wind map, but this is also called the misery index. Those in red are feeling the heat, those in blue feeling the cold. Now, New Zealand's pretty much temperate, but there's a little bit of blue shading around the South Island, single digits again this morning, and in fact it was single digits way up around the Bay of Islands through inland areas still at 8 o'clock this morning. So that is certainly colder than usual for this time of the year, but look at all this heat coming into Australia, and there is that cyclone forming right out on the very northwestern side just south of Broome. So just very quickly we'll talk about this because this cyclone is the next one coming through. Category 2 is what the Bureau of Meteorology expect it to be over the next couple of days as it slowly curves around, making landfall between Broome and Port Hedland. Now the rainfall totals, I think rain might be the main feature with this system unless the category is wrong and it goes stronger than a 2. But if it stays as a 2, this area in the blue shading, that's over 200 millimetres of rain coming through for you over the next 3 days. So this is the area expected to make landfall, and look, it goes right through into dry parts of Australia, and that's just for the next 3 days because it keeps on going. So this system may end up coming towards New Zealand. Don't worry about that, it won't be a cyclone, but it's still interesting to see its journey because next week, as we kick off our temperature maps here in New Zealand, next week the heat is coming out of Aussie for some areas, mostly central and eastern parts of New Zealand, and we could be seeing temperatures well into the low mid-30s coming through for you. But that's not at the moment. This is tonight's departure from normal, and as you can see, it's cold for many places, colder than it should be. The Bay of Islands, inland areas there, 4 to 8 degrees colder than it should be. So once again tonight, another cold one. But look, the west coast, showing just some signs of warming up back to normal. That's what the green shading is. It's not on the key, it's just the satellite, and out here around parts of Taranaki on that western side. Now, as we go through in towards Friday, you'll notice a bit of warming up going on, more of the green appearing, back to normal temperatures. So it's not warmer or colder than usual in these green zones. That is just normal weather, so you can see the satellite map below it. The only areas that are looking colder than average, really this part here of the North Island and a little bit through the mountains. Nothing much. It's not enough to really talk about when it's only a degree or so. And a little bit same actually with the warmer than average area here. Really just the middle portion is warmer than average. Everybody else just about normal, but you'll enjoy that warmth coming back after the colder than usual weather. So Friday, the reason why it is a little warmer is because of this airflow coming out of Australia. There's the cyclone way up near Perth coming in, and we've got high pressure to New Zealand's northwest. And another storm down here in the Southern Ocean, 950 hectopascals. Weather Watch is the only forecaster that's been talking about the Southern Ocean storms since November last year, and we're not surprised that Otago and Southland and other parts keep getting these injections of cold. You'll get more of them, but there's still some warm days in there. It's not all bad news. But there's another storm, 950 hectopascals. That's incredibly deep for summer. It is very, very unusual seeing all these big storms going down south of New Zealand. As we go on towards the weekend, so that low comes through on Saturday to the south here, 959, still very, very deep. 1020, that's a fairly weak high pressure system, but that's quite the pressure gradient. So the winds will be again clipping the South Island, a little windy through other parts of New Zealand as well, and the cyclone up here making landfall between Broome and Port Hedland at some point. Let's get to Sunday, back to New Zealand. There is that storm in the Southern Ocean, so it's well away from us, but it's between that and the high to the north. That's why you got the squash zone, the winds, the isobars being squashed together. So Sunday will be a little windier again through Auckland. It'll be a little windier through the Southern Alps and down around Southland. And I'm sorry, but you got another burst of wet weather coming through on Sunday as well, with a slight temperature drop going up towards Dunedin. And then we kick off next week with a cooler sou'wester once more, but the high is here. And we talked about that hot weather coming out of Australia. See the red line there? That's a sign of that hot stuff coming along in front of the tropical cyclone remnants. It won't be a cyclone at all by then, but it will start to drift out into the middle part of Australia. By Tuesday, these are the warm winds out of Aussie. That will start to really push your temperatures back up. not only just normal, but above normal in some parts of the lower South Island. It may not linger too long. Here's our final map for Wednesday, and there's quite a lot going on with this map. So in the north, pretty settled with high pressure. Getting back to that weather pattern we had a lot last year with the high out to the east and stretching back over the North Island, pulling down this humid airflow. But in the south, you've got a cold front coming through. From that storm down here, up comes a cold front. Your temperatures drop, another burst of rain in Southland and Fiordland, and possibly a snow flurry or two up on the mountains again. And then you've got the remnants of that cyclone sitting here, it's just south of Alice Springs. Nothing major, pretty weak, but this map looks very much like La Nina, and we haven't been talking much about La Nina lately because of the Southern Ocean. So this is well worth keeping an eye on. This low here might be drifting down around Thursday of next week, joining up with that system. There's a gap between highs, kind of the perfect spot for this low to come down. Fingers crossed, not if you're going camping, you probably don't want me to say that, but for the farmers and Auckland's water storage areas, we still need another good day of rain. That is all from me for today. We'll see you again on Friday with our next update as we go into the weekend.